Hey guys, what's up? It's Al, your Colo King, and I have our pre-season opener analysis for the Pokemon World Battle Conference. The first week we'll be battling with the Hawaii Rainbow War Turtles, who are led by Shadow Blissey41, our co-coordinator of the tournament. And we organized this tournament, it's a little draft league based off Magnitude's GBA. And looking at his team, he hit a really great draft. First round, he went straight for the Aegislash, very solid OU. It can go either way, mixed. It even has a stall set. It can go high offense, physical, or special, depending on what his core is going to be on the team. His second round was Mega Venusaur. I personally love Venusaur. If you've battled me before, you know I sometimes pull out Carlos or Super Carlos, my Venusaurs. Those are my favorite. Mega Venusaur, I'm looking at his team, and it's not gonna really. He's gonna definitely mega more than he's gonna hold off, because he not gonna be able to use chlorophyll. He doesn't have a sun team anyway, so that's kind of signals that he's gonna probably be a special attacker, because I'm looking at his team. He's got a Heatran, Hydreigon, Alomola. He's got a lot of special attackers on this team. Actually, let's start with that. For his special core, he can go with Aegislash, might not. He has Mega Venusaur, Hydreigon. Raikou, I'm thinking, has the Aura Spear, probably the event one. And Clefable, you never know if you're going to get the stall or you're going to get the a special set with Clefable. He's got the Heatran and the Alomomola as well. Heatran's probably going to be set up. He's probably got Stealth Rocks on there. And he's going to use a lot of just, I guess, he probably has Protect on there, I would assume. Alomomola, Rest, Sleep Talk, Scald, and Recover, I believe it gets, and that thing's just... that thing is so annoying. If he's Resto Chesto, it's even worse because he won't need Recover. Raikou, I'm expecting, as I said, the Aura Sphere to come out at me. That's kind of Raikou's sig, I believe. I honestly feel like Raikou's good for Aura Spear and sometimes a Discharge. Hydreigon, probably Dark Pulse or something like that. U-Turn, Dragon Pulse, and maybe Flamethrower or some other Ice Beam, maybe. I'm not really sure what he would use with the fourth move, but I'm used to seeing Dark Pulse, U-Turn, and Dragon Pulse on that thing. Then we got the Hariyama. It's probably a fake out. He might have Dynamic Punch on him, I'm not sure. Maybe an Ice Punch and Thunder Punch. Probably has, I believe it's Iron Fist, I'm not completely sure. But anyway. And then we see Clefable at the end. Can probably be Wish, Toxic, and some sort of stall set for the rest of it. And then let's go to our team. We had a very solid draft, actually. Extremely lucky in the first round. Nobody took Deoxys S. Now, we drafted before the recent ban from Smogon on Deoxys, banning it to Uber in all forms. So I was able to sneak in Deoxys S. I took Rotom Wash from my VGC team. I have a Drizzle Toad. My Salamence, kind of standard with me. Salamence is my go-to guy. I'm not revealing what items I'm running in this thing, but I do have a couple of different items for different situations. 1 second. Okay, never mind. I do have quite a few items for different situations. And then after Salamence, we got Sableye. I love Sableye. The Mega really helped me out too, but I love Sableye in the first place. Hard as hell to play against if you're using Aegislash, and I expected someone to take Aegislash early, and they did. So when I got to my priority set straight and whatever, I did take Sableye in the 5th round. We got Ferrothorn. On Ferrothorn, I run a very defensive set. My 2 attacking moves, I really just try not to use unless I expect the opponent to switch out, but I usually Leech Seed. That's my standard there. I sometimes run Spikes, I sometimes don't. Haven't decided what I'm actually going to be using. It's really up to the battle. And we got Houndoom as our 7th pick. Now, I chose not to use a Mega at all in this tournament, because when it comes to the Megas that were left at that point, plus the fact that I don't really, it's great and competitive, but I want to have fun with this. I want to have skill battles, and I don't want to just overplay with Megas. But I chose Houndoom. I'm going to try to run 2 different sets, an Air Balloon and an Assault Vest set. And after my battle with Sacred Fire Negro, I made some adjustments to my move pool. So I'm hoping that helps me out too for a little bit of coverage. And finally, we chose Quagsire as our final pick. And Quagsire, what a beast. Recover, Stockpile, Earthquake, Scald. You've battled him before, you've seen him in the video. One of the Brobat videos that of my battles against him. I wrecked with Quagsire. Quagsire just came out and was like, style. But that's my team. And looking at this, the biggest matchups that I'm seeing coming up now, I'm going to see how he's going to counter with my Politoed bringing out the rain, because that weakens his Heatran. Hydreigon might have Flamethrower. It does help Alomomola. And Raikou, if it carries Thunder, that's a bit of a problem. If he switches into Raikou when I send out Politoed, then I kind of figure he has Thunder. But between that and the and the Sableye Aegislash matchup, that will also be extremely interesting. He might go straight for the He might go for a Shadow Sneak or Shadow Ball after getting a Swords Dance up. He's not faster though, so that might be a problem. If he starts out with Aegislash, that's bad for him, but because I can always burn, I'll let him get the Swords Dance up, because the burn will still lower his attack to below normal, and then I will taunt him so he can't just Swords Dance his way back up. And let's look at the other matchups in this round 1. We've got our opener tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern Time. I'll be live streaming around then, give or take a few minutes. Watch my Twitter. It is going to be on the Twitter, but our matchups this week, we have Team Devious in the Atlanta Braviaries. That's going to be quite an interesting matchup. They've got some pretty solid players on there. Team Devious with the Mega Manectric, the Jolteon combo there. They could always Volt Absorb each other. He's got the Gallade and he's got a Staraptor. Dusknoir is going to be really interesting. Then on the Atlanta Braviaries, you got Mega Caesar, Porygon 2. That's an Eviolite set. That's going to be Eviolite. And a Vivian. He's got a Vivian near the end of his draft log in round 7. Plus that Latios hanging out at the end. And that's going to be a very, very interesting matchup. I'm curious to see how that goes with what 6 each person chooses. Our next matchup, Seattle Slowkings and Los Angeles Noivern. The Slowkings bring along the Tyranitar core with... he's got Mega Tyranitar, Rhyperior, big, bulky attackers. He's got Magmortar. And he's also got the Power Flinch Togekiss in there as well, among with some other special attacking. He's a very special attacking team. And on the other side, we have with the Noiverns, Mega Mawile, Thundurus Incarnate. Mega Mawile right there. Got to be careful with that. It's really only real weakness is going to be ground types. And, ground types. And, ground's its own only pure weakness. Thundurus Incarnate. Watch out, that thing is fast. It's going to taunt you. He's got a Mamoswine and an Umbreon. He's also got the Trevenant at the end. Trevenant, Harvest, Crush. Enough said. It's going to be a solid match. I'm looking forward to seeing that. If they send me the battle video, of course I'll upload it as well. And our next matchup is the Michigan Mudkips and the Buffalo Bouffalants. The Mudkips had an okay draft. They actually had to do a supplemental draft because they didn't quite make it to the original one, but they got Tentacruel and Omastar as their first 2 picks. They got the Entei. That was a very nice one. And then at the end, the last round, they got the Ninetales. I'm assuming that's a drought set. I'm looking at his team, though. It doesn't quite help him much, but it's not bad. He's also got Mega Ampharos as his Mega Evolution that he chose. And as for the Bouffalants, they went right off the bat, took their Mega in the first round, got the Mega Gardevoir. Landorus, Therian, Crawdaunt, Dusclops, and Arcanine are the highlights. They also got a Honchkrow, Ambipom, and Goodra, but I'm looking mostly at the Eviolite Dusclops here. That's going to be a pivotal role throughout his tournament run for the league, the Bouffalants, and that's going to make, hopefully, a very interesting battle for this first one. I'm expecting him to bring it for the first battle, just to test it out, I would assume. Plus, it completely destroys Heracross. And our next matchup is going to be the Lubbock Lucarios and Sheer Force. Now, those are powerful teams. I personally know the owner of the Lucarios. We play a separate competitive group and such, but he's got a Bisharp, Breloom, Mega Gyarados, high offensive core, first 3 picks of the draft. Very, very solid picks there. Bisharp is, sash it, you get a Swords Dance up, you Sucker Punch, you can wall almost anything and destroy teams that aren't resistant to dark. Then you have Breloom, Spore. Spore everywhere. Spore is going to be everywhere. Mega Gyarados, Mold Breaker, get up a Waterfall, or even use Earthquake, because Levitate Pokemon, they got shit against that. He's also got the Landers Incarnate. He's got a Volcarona, Aquajet, and Destiny Bond Sharpedo. He's got the Suicune. The Suicune's a very, very bulky Pokemon when used right. Also has some attacking potential. For the most part, it's like Resto Chesto and Walling, really. It's very specially defensive, and it was always one of my favorites back in the second generation. Floating on the end of his draft was an Excadrill, and that's going to probably be an Air Balloon set. And the other team that he's playing is Sheer Force. Nidoking was the first pick, and looking at his team, I see a lot of weakness to ground. He's got Nidoking weak against ground. He's got Metagross weak against ground. That's the good solid third of his team if he uses both of them. Also, I see a couple of water types there, Zoomerel and Clawitzer. Those are both weak to electric, of course, and grass, which also goes into the, the Garchomp's neutral damage. So a good grass type that can wall would do a lot against it. And Lucario's, I don't believe, have a good grass type user. Now, Breloom is grass type, but I see a lot more of fighting moves. Though I know he carries Bullet Seed on the Breloom. I'm not sure that that won't be not predicted, of course. So that's going to be interesting there. Sheer Force also has the Metagross. Bullet Punching will be pretty important against the Where is it? Against the Against the Sharpedo to beat out that Aquajet. And it also learns fighting moves and psychic moves as well for decent coverage. Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee right there. Rolling kick and high jump kick. If you can get the the zoom lens up with that Hitmonlee, and you somehow survive a hit or two, you are going to wreck with high jump kick. But we can't forget there are some resistances against the fighting move on that team, so he's got to be careful with that. Mega Banette, I love that thing. I don't know what he's going to run on it. I'm hoping he runs more like a Shadow Claw set, but honestly, that's going to be exciting. I hope to see that match really well. I'm going to have one or both of them send me the battle code because I want you guys to see that match. That's going to be amazing. And looking at our final matchup for Week 1, we'll have the Cleveland Escavaliers and the Long Island Banettes. Both of those teams, decent drafts right there. I like some of their picks there. So let's look at the what's it called? What was it? Where is it? Hold on. Who was I talking? Oh, the Cavaliers. I'm sorry. So right off the bat, they picked Talonflame first round. All it was grown during the draft, but it was actually a solid pick. Looking at the picks before him, that had come up. Talonflame, Mega Charizard Y, Infernape, and he's got some other threats too. He's got Fortress, a Spinner. Blissey's going to be annoying. Kyurem B. Now, Kyurem B, that's going to be great to face, I guess. Yeah, no. But we'll deal with it. But that's actually a really, really nice draft there. If you look closely at the basis of it, he's got a semi-Sun team. He's got the Talonflame, the Charizard Y, and the Infernape. That Infernape probably has Flare Blitz on it, and even if not, it probably uses Iron Fist anyway. Cloyster, not a big deal with water type moves. You're usually looking for an Icicle Spear. That's going to be good against ground types in case of retaliation. And also, it also can learn spikes and set up relatively easily. Kyurem B, all-out attacker. That's what that's going to end up being. And then we've got the Fortress Spinner, Porygon Z, Analytic, Choice Specs. It's going to wreck. Blissey, we all know how Blissey runs. We all hate it, but it's pretty solid. And then we've got the Banettes. The Banettes have a very interesting lineup here. Chansey right off the bat, that's an Eviolite set. You can see it coming. Conkeldurr, Iron Fist, probably got the Flame Orb, or maybe even Guts with the Flame Orb. Iron Fist would probably carry a Sash or a Vest, maybe. You've also got Donphan. That's going to be the Spinner right there. It also can learn Earthquake, a bunch of other various useful moves. Weavile, Ice Sharding, probably a Foul Play or knockoff set. I haven't seen a beat-up set ever, really, in competitive with Weavile, but I wouldn't be surprised. That'd be a really nice touch there. Cresselia, Light Clay, set up your screens, get things going defensively. Nice defensive core there with Cresselia and Jellicent, his next pick. Jellicent is very, very good. Plus the Milotic, which comes right after. So that's a very, very big defensive core right there. And finally, he wraps up with the Dragonite. Extreme Speed set is probably there with Outrage. Looking at the teams, I want to see how Dragonite deals with with the biggest problem on his team to me is Kyurem B. Now don't forget Kyurem B is Ice Dragon. So it does have a type advantage over Dragon Flying. Dragonite is much faster and might be able to knock him out with an Outrage in 2 hits, maybe 1. But if you get off a Glaciate, that's a problem with Kyurem B against the Dragonite, and it'll be a very interesting matchup. As well as seeing the Conkeldurr against the Infernape and the Cloyster. And nobody really doesn't want to see a Talonflame against anything. I want to see how that's dealt with, because that's very, it's somewhat frail, but if you can get off a good start, it sweeps teams. It is so good. So yeah, that's going to be my pre-week 1 analysis of the matchups for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like below. Comment on what you want to see in the World Battle Conference tournaments for this season and even next season. If you want to be in, start letting me know now. I don't know if it'll be a yearly thing or a couple months in between, but we'll work on that. Ooh, headphone wire. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this matchup, and got my merch. My head looks weird like that. But yeah, I got my merch. I made myself a t-shirt for it. If you guys want to see the design, there you go. It's backwards, but whatever. And yeah, once again, I hope you guys liked the video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe below to Colo Nation. Keep me growing as I provide more and more content throughout the weeks. And I hope you enjoyed this week's battle. We will be live streaming 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on my Twitch channel, which will be in the description below. So please don't forget, while you're smashing that like button, look at the description, find the Twitch channel, and please tune in at 8:30 tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.